good evening, and welcome to the RocCityNet for Sunday, May 14th, 2017. My name is Tim, WB2KAO, controlling the net for this evening. First of all, we want to wish all the mothers a very, very happy Mother's Day. This net convenes every Sunday on the WR2AHL 145.11 repeater. We appreciate the use of the repeater, and we thank Mike, W2HYP, and Jim, W2COP, for the use of the system. All radio amateurs are welcome to join the net. The net is to promote camaraderie between radio amateurs. We do suggest people check in with any items for sale or want or trade, and anyone who has news of general interest to the amateur community is certainly welcome to join. All radio amateurs, of course, are welcome to join the RocCityNet. Once again, my name is Tim, WB2KAO. We'll take portable and mobile stations first, and we'll get comments from those stations and then take general check-ins. So do we have any portable or mobile stations at this time, WB2KAO?
W2IT, mobile.
WB2KAO, this is W4JPS, portable in Barrington. I'll be in and out. That's Whiskey 4 Juliet Papa Sierra.
W2KAO. This is KD2IIK, Mike Mobile, South Chile. This is KD2LWL, mobile.
Okay, net acknowledges W2IT, W4JPS, KD2IIK, KD2LWL, and the last station who had no audio. The last station that checked in with me with no audio. You want to try it again? Alrighty. W2IT, good evening, Roy.
Good evening, all. All the talking I do from now on is going to be about the AWA convention in August, reminding all listeners, all radio amateurs and interested parties, that the flea market is free. No charge, period. If you want to come to the flea market, look around, no charge, nothing. Come on in. Everybody, anybody, anywho, anyhow. No tricks. If you want to sell at the flea market, you got to pay us $30, which I think is reasonable. And that gives you as many spaces as you want. 1 space, 2 spaces, 10 spaces. I don't care how many spaces you want. So, but still, that's it. You don't have to pay to go to the convention. You can't go to the convention, but you can't. That doesn't mean you can't go to the bookstores and all that kind of stuff. We couldn't keep you out if we wanted to, but that's the hotel venue. But you can't go to the presentations. I mean, we're not going to keep wolves at the door to keep you out, but fair is fair. But if you decide later you want to go to it, they'll make an adjustment for what you've already paid. So that's it. So one more time, the flea market is free, no cost, no money. You have to pay anything. And we should have a pretty good turnout this year. We've got the stuff from other parts of the country that are coming. That's always interesting. And I've always done quite well at the flea market, believe it or not. I picked up some very, very interesting things there. Because there are a lot of old timers there. And I picked up an S-line 4 or 5 years ago for $500, and that included power supply, transmitter, receiver, and the little station monitor. So can't complain about that. W2IT, back to net.
Oh, okay, fine, Roy. Thank you very much. Appreciate that, and I'm sure that'll be well attended. W4JPS, sir, you said in and out, but you're second on the list here. Good evening.
Sure, I can make one cycle down here. Name here is Jay, Juliet Alpha Yankee, and Portable and Barrington taking a walk out to the front now, and let the kids get a little bit of air, myself, and yeah, good Mother's Day. Mom's at home doing that, so get a little break there. Anyhow, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sign. I'll listen, but I've got 2 in tow, so 73 everyone, and thank you. W4JPS.
Real fine, Jay. Good to hear you, and nice to chat with you over on 444.85 the other night there. You had a real good signal from out that way. KD2IIK, good evening.
Good evening, Tim and Annette. My name is Dave here, and I am Bike Mobile in South Chilai. Oh, I'm on mile 5 out of 12. I did pull over to speak here. So I just want to do a quick check-in, say hello to everyone. I hope to make this a Sunday evening routine. A lot of fun for me. It makes the miles pass a lot faster when you're listening, and you get to chime in a little bit. So I'll say 73. Hope everyone's Mother's Day was fine. I had my mom over, my mother-in-law over, and I made a nice dinner for my wife and the 2 moms, and it turned out really nice. So hopefully everyone had some good family time. I'll say 73. W2KAO and the net. This is KD2IIK. I'll be clear.
Real good, Dave. Real good. Enjoy your bike ride there. Nice way to wrap up a weekend there and have a good week. KD2LWL. Good evening, JD.
This is KD2LWL. Yeah, just wanted to say hello to everybody, and this is a pretty new amateur operator, a couple of months now, so I just wanted to try out one of these nets and see what it's all about, and I'm excited to listen. Just got home from a happy Mother's Day, spending with my mother and my grandmother out in the Fairport, Palmyra area, so excited to listen and hear what this is all about. So with that, I'll turn back over to Net.
WR2AHL repeater.
Real fine, JD. Have a good one, and welcome aboard. Glad to have you. Alrighty, WB2KAO taking general check-ins. Go ahead.
WB2KAO. N2ITN, Steve in Greece.
WB2KAO. W2JTF, Jeff in North Chilai.
W2KAO. MJH, Mike in Rochester.
WB2KAO. W2GT, Doug in Union Springs.
WB2KAO. WB2KAO. KD2LGX, Larry in Ontario.
WB2KAO. Kilo Delta 2, Charlie Tango Zulu, Don in Webster.
WB2KAO. That's K2WEK, Bill in Ontario.
WB2KAO. Please copy Kilo Charlie 2, Golf Tango Oscar, Paul in Webster.
Okay, it's WB2KAO acknowledging. N2ITN, W2JTF, N3MJH. I'm sorry, it's W3JMH, isn't it, Mike?
W3MJH, sir.
Yep, I knew that. W3MJH. W2GT. Good evening, Doug. KD2LGX. Good evening, Larry. KD2CTZ. Good evening, Don. K2WEK. KC2GTO. Good evening, Paul. Any further check-ins on this call-up, WB2KAO? All right. And to ITN. Hello, Steve. Good evening.
Good evening, Tim. I hope you are doing well, and this day found you well. It's been a kind of an odd and off day. Pouring rain, sunshine, pouring rain, sunshine. Fortunately, I did all my yard work yesterday, and today was just family stuff. So I hope everybody had a good Mother's Day today, and just checking in for the numbers. It's always good to talk with you, Tim. Hope everybody in your family's doing well. This is Steve in Greece, N2 ITN.
Real fine, Steve. Yeah, had a real nice day. Actually, was out on the screen porch with the new roof on it. Absolutely torrential rain and no leaks. I was very pleased about that. Everything was all right. Have a good week, Steve. Presume you're still doing that commute back and forth to Nunday. And sounds like things are going well for you. W2JTF, Jeff, good evening to you. Happy Mother's Day to Betsy. And you're up next week, buddy. Go ahead.
Hey, good evening, Tim, and everybody on the net. I just wanted to make a shout-out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. And, yeah, a little bummed, Tim. I was really looking forward to making it down to Gannett Hill yesterday, but my oldest son had some project he wanted me to help him with, so I had to forego the trip, but hopefully I can make the next one. It's always something I look forward to doing. And Timmy, I was just wondering how you made out with your rotor. Did you get it up on Friday and get everything up and running? I'll turn it back to you, W2JTF.
Yes, we did. Jeff. John, WB2BYP, and Dick, WA2IKC, and Harold, W2ABQ, came over and got the rotor and the adaptive control box up. Some new hardware on the tri-bander. All the antennas are lined up and pointing in the same direction, and everything's working great. So yes. Project complete. I guess John wants to come back in 3 or 4 weeks and just make sure that all of the hardware is tight. But everything's good. Thank you. Yeah, project complete, and it's working great. W3MJH. Good evening, Mike and Jeff. I'll catch you in the morning. W3MJH. Good evening, Mike. How are you tonight?
Oh, very well, sir. Went out did some shopping with my wife this afternoon, some clothes shopping, and believe it or not, it was for me. Since I have this new job, got to dress the part. Some of the stuff I had was looking a little bit old and worn, so it was time to go out and do that, and go out to Starbucks and have a little snack together and that kind of thing. Didn't do much with family. This was my first year without my mom. And, I was just thinking about that when somebody mentioned Mother's Day, and shout out to one of our former members here. I haven't heard him on for a while. He knows who I'm talking about, that his mom passed away, and I know how that is to miss him on Mother's Day. But it was a good day, had a wonderful time, had a great time this weekend down at Gannett Hill. We shot some wires up there, and I got a couple of different QSOs there, and proved out my little portable long wire auto tuner, and just did pretty good. Even was get to the 6-meter simplex to W3OAB, who was a couple of miles across the hill. So with that, I'll pass it back to net control. W3MJH.
Real fine, Mike. Well, that sounds real good. Yep, we all certainly do. Those of us who don't have our moms anymore, we certainly do think of them. That's for sure. My mom's been gone quite a while, 1993, but we always think of them. That's for sure. Thanks for checking in. Glad you had a good time up at the hill yesterday, and I know the next station was up there. Gets those hilltop parties organized. W2GT. Good evening, Doug.
Good evening, Tim. Everybody on the net. Yeah, we had quite a day yesterday. It started out. I didn't know for sure. It was about. I think Larry figured it was about 5-6 degrees cooler up on top of the hill. It was misty. The wind kicked up a little bit, and I didn't know how long I was going to hang out up there. But Larry had some tarps, and we got the wind blocked and kept everything dry. And then the rain stopped, and it got better. So not bad at all. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Always fun to get a few guys together, and even if you don't operate much, you get to get some antennas up and talk radio for the day. It was a success. We'll be right back up there, different pavilion, Pavilion 5, which does have electricity. We'll be back up there on the 17th of next month, middle Saturday of the month. So if anybody wants to mark their calendar now, hopefully the weather will be better. So, but yeah, today just kind of weird weather. Watched I was headed out literally to mow the lawn, and looked at the weather before I did, and I chickened out. I said, no, I'm not going to be able to finish it. I'm just gonna get wet. So it's supposed to be in the 80s on Wednesday. It can wait a day or two. All right, Tim. Thanks for doing a great job, and we'll turn it back to net control. W2GT.
Great. Checking in. Okay, just a second, and we'll run through the rest of the list there, and then we'll take check-ins. Very good, Doug, and glad you had a good time there. It's good to hear that folks enjoy that so much. KD2LGX, Larry, good evening to you, and just to let you know and let everybody know, I know you have been attending lately. The Rochester DX Association meeting is this Tuesday, 7:30 at the Emergency Operations Center, 1190 Scottsville Road. Good evening, Larry.
Recheck.
Okay, hang on, Larry. Sorry about that. The recheck. Go ahead.
I wanted to add to Doug what Doug said. It was kind of interesting. It was in a way fun to do that this weekend and not have any power, and to remember exactly what we're capable of when we don't have all that infrastructure to rely on. W3MJH.
Okay, real good, Mike. Thanks for that. KD2LGX, Larry, it's your turn. Go ahead.
Well, very good, Tim. Good evening, Tim, and everybody here on the net. Let's see. My weekend's gone pretty well. So far up till this morning, and this morning it started getting better. 6 meters opened up for me. Worked a couple in Georgia and 2 in Texas. Then, a little while after that, we left and took my grandmother out for Mother's Day, Mother's Day dinner, I guess, down to Henrietta. And when we left, it rained cats and dogs. Boy, it was coming down. Seen 2 accidents. Probably had bad tires on their vehicles. And, back home for the rest of the day, cooked some dinner, and here I am. So, great weekend, I'd say. And I hope everyone is also having a great weekend. Back to you, Tim. WB2KAO, KD2LGX.
WB2KAO sounds excellent. It's great that you were able to get Grandma out. I'm sure she enjoyed that. I'm sure all the restaurants were real busy today. That's for sure. KD2CTZ. Good evening there, Don. Did you get down to let's see, is it Groton or Cortland? I forget. South of Syracuse on 81. Anyway, I know I got that part right.
Yes, sir. KD2CDZ, Don here. Thank you for remembering that. Yeah, I did make it down to the Cortland area. Played a little bit on the radio, mostly did some prep for field day. Got the lawn mowed there in between the raindrops, so I'm sure Mom and Dad looking down would be happy to see the place in good repair. Other than that, just a pretty relaxing weekend. Back to you, Tim.
Real good, Don. Excellent. That's outstanding. And have a good week. I know you've been gainfully employed over at Harris for quite some time, and doing well. K2WEK. Good evening.
K2WEK, Bill in Ontario. Good evening, everyone on the net. Good to hear everyone. And sorry I missed the event down at Gannett Hill yesterday, but myself and KC2 GTO were attending the ex-ARC fox hunt up here in the Webster area yesterday. Pretty good turnout for that, and the weather cooperated. We just had a little mist for a short period of time, but it wasn't too bad. And I think I got to know every hill and valley between Webster and the west side of Arundequoit Bay yesterday. It seemed to be a lot of hill climbing with that, but maybe not too bad. But for an old guy, I kind of was a little stressed. But it was a good time anyways, and we did pretty well thanks to KC2 GTO and his fox hunting skills. And like everybody, took my wife out for Mother's Day today. She wanted to go see Fast and Furious. Not sure why, but she's a fan of that series, I guess. And so we went to see that this afternoon, and she was pretty happy with that. And last night, again, we spent time with our son, KC2 GTO, over at his house, and our other son, and we celebrated the 3 Mother's Days over there between their 2 wives and my wife again. So a good weekend, all in all. Weather could have been a lot better, but at least we had a lot of good things to do. So with that, we'll turn it back to the net, K2WEK.
Real good, Bill. Excellent. I know who you are, Bill. I think you've checked in from Florida via Echolink on my 440 repeater. Have I got the right guy?
Yeah, that's correct.
I thought that voice sounded familiar, and I did not know that Paul is your son. Very, very, very nice. Very, very nice. Well, I'm glad you had a good time. Yep, today was a day to keep the moms and grandmoms happy. It's all good. KC2 GTO. Hello, Paul.
Hey, Tim. How are you? I bet you're happy. I see the Red Wings are off to a good start. It looks like they got 3 wins in a row here, so not a bad start to the season. So it's good to hear you in there. And, yeah, like Dad said there, we had a good time at the fox hunt. Actually pulled off a first. Not sure how, but it was a good time. So next up is field day, I guess. So got to start getting ready for that. and did get out with Lana and my daughter today, and got over the Lilac Fest and got down to the bottom of the hill, and then thunderstorm and hailstorm. So thankfully we had umbrellas and ran back up to the top of the hill, but it was a good time. And that's about all I got, Tim. So I will give it back to Net Control WB2KAO from KC2GTO.
WB2KAO. I normally watch 13 had a basketball game on, so I watched Channel 8's news at 6, and they were talking about the hailstorm at the Lilac Festival. I don't think we had any hail here in Greece. I didn't hear it, and I would have heard it on that fiberglass roof out on the screen porch. Man, it was really coming down. But I saw that there were they had some hail out there. Well, very good, Paul. Good to hear you. Let's see, that wraps up the list, and we'll take more check-ins if there are any. This is the RocCityNet, WB2KAO.
WB2KAO. K2ZX, Joe in North Greece.
WB2KAO and 2YFA.
WB2KAO, K2NAX, Jim and Henrietta.
W2KAO, this is N2YLT, Jim in Plainville.
Okay, hold it right there. Hold it right there. The last station, I'm going to need your call in phonetics. Was that November 2 Yankee Lima Tango?
That's the front of the Film Club Plainville.
Yeah, Roger, John. I got Plainville. I just wasn't sure. Okay, November 2 Yankee Lima Tango. I got it. Okay, further stations, go ahead.
WR2AHL repeater.
Okay, well, we'll acknowledge these stations. Acknowledge K2ZX. Good evening, Joe, and 2YFA. Hi, Rich. Thanks for dropping in. K2NAX. Hello, Jim. And N2YLT. Good evening, John, over in Plainville. K2ZX. Good evening, Joe.
Yeah, very good, Tim. Good evening to you and everybody on the net here, and happy Mom's Day to all the moms. Did the same thing you guys did. Went to the in-laws first and out to see my mom second. And been gone most of the day here, but was up at Gannett Hill. Had a good time up there with the guys, and that was fun. And I'm just sitting here watching the hockey game here. Nashville's up 2-0 already. Wow, they're looking good. So, anyhow, boy, that's about did a little 6 meters as well as Larry did out there over the weekend a little bit. I wish I would have caught the band opening today, Larry, but it was good to get to talk to you yesterday on 6 meters. But boy, that's about it from here up in North Greece, and I'll turn it back to Net Control. WB2KAO and the Rock City Net. Oh, hang on a sec. I got a bunch of T-shirts, you guys. I got more T-shirts. I got extra larges. I got 20 more. So if anybody's looking to, if you're an extra large, just let me know and we can get you a shirt. So that's about it. Over to you, Tim. WB2KAO and the Rock City Net, K2ZX.
WB2KAO, very good. Yeah, Joe, put me down for an extra large. I never did order one of those, but yeah, put me down for an extra large. We'll catch up here sometime, Joe.
Oh, no problem, Tim. You just let me know, and you're not too far away, or if you're going to the breakfast next month, whatever. Just I'll talk to you. Just when you hear me, get a hold of me, and or you can shoot me an email. Let me know. I can pop over there anytime. So. Back to you, K2ZX.
Break.
Okay, Joe, real good. I'll just pop you a call on your cell phone. Breaker, go ahead.
Sorry, Tim, I actually meant recheck. And I just real quick, I wanted to mention to Joe, we got to start finding some other restaurants to go to, Joe, because it looks like the one we went to last Saturday had a little incident there. Back to you.
There's a little bit of excitement for the restaurants we go to, right, Tim? Go ahead. K2's the next.
Well, I guess I didn't hear about that. I thought we had a good time down there in Canandaigua at the Villager. Jeff, you'll have to fill me in later. I missed that, I guess. No problem. And to YFA, good evening, Rich. Did you end up with those steaks? We had ours. They were delicious. Rich, go ahead.
Good evening, Tim, and everybody on the net. This is Rich N2YFA, and yes, we did. Steaks, mashed potatoes, and broccoli. Not a problem. Was delicious also. We didn't let Mama cook. We did all the cooking here. Today being Mother's Day. Other than that, Timmy, I got nothing. I hope everybody has a good week. And I'll send it back to Net Control to send to YFA.
Sounds good, Rich. Yeah, we had corn on the cob and pasta salad, and Cheryl wrapped up some potatoes in foil and put those out on the grill. Man, those are always good like that. I like those like that. K2NAX, Jim, good evening. Jim's been off the air for about 10 years and back with us, right, Jim?
Hey, Tim, K2NAX. Yep, just back on the air again. Decided to get the rigs back out of their boxes, and hope I'm making the repeater okay. Went down to Hornell for Mother's Day. Villa Italiano was great, and the food was good. Not too crowded, but the weather was iffy, so drove through a few rainstorms. And it's been on and off all day. That's about it, Tim. K2NAX.
Thanks for checking in, Jim. Yeah, you're making it with the ICOM 24AT there. I can always tell the 24AT. It has a very, very distinctive unkey, just like the FT60 does. I also remember that you have a 24AT, and I used to have one years ago. And to YLT, good evening, John. Every time I think of Plainville, I think of the Plainville Turkey Farm, which I believe is closed, or at least the restaurant part of it is closed. But I'd been over there several times. My wife's parents lived in Elbridge, and we have friends over on Holland Hill over in Marcellus, and we used to get over there to the turkey farm, to the Plainville restaurant quite often. Go ahead.
Yeah, copy that. Yeah, that's not John. Just take off Indian Mike. That's your way, Alfie. Yeah, it's turkey store around here. There's not. Used to be a Plainville turkey barn. They think it make it Pennsylvania farm, turkey farm. Yeah, there's a lot out there. The only thing that I don't like about it is snow. And not much is going on here, so just joined on Mother's Day. The family came over, and we had a good time, so that's about it. Back to you, Mr. Tim, KD2KAO. This is M2YLT, Tim, Tango, Indian Mike. We'll be on site.
Okay, Tim, real good. Yeah, same as my name. I'm sorry, I had your name wrong there. Excuse me, Tim. Nice to meet you there. You have a good signal from Plainville there. That's pretty good hike there. Doing all right, Tim. Good to meet you. Any further stations for the RocCityNet, WB2KAO?
Thank you. Just talking on my new radio. This is the A0 VX. R. It's a little tiny radio, so just check it out and see what it's putting out. So back to you, NCYLK, for your check-in.
Yeah, real good, Tim. No problem. No problem. Doing a real nice job. Do we have any further check-ins for the net, please?
WA2EKL, Stephen Chile.
WA2EKL, Steve is acknowledged. Anybody else?
AMA, Tom and Gates.
And 2AMA. Oh, Tom, good to hear you. Haven't heard you in a while. Remember sitting with you and your wife at at an auction, and I think I met your wife on another occasion as well. Good to hear you, Tom. It's been a while. Haven't heard you on 8.5 in a long time. WA2EKL, good evening, Steve. How are you?
WA2EKL, doing good, Tim. Hi to everybody in the group. Just thought I'd check in. I've been kind of listening. Probably third to a half of my ear was on the conversation. The other half was on what I was doing. But thought I'd check in and say hello. A lot of stuff going on, but all kind of trivial. I got to pull a tone board out of a PS690. Larry W2LB and Brad AYG helped me craft it, and I shoved it in there, and it's malfunctioned. But that's going to be my ham radio project for the next day or two. It's not going to take more than a half an hour, but finding that half hour is going to be a challenge. I'm sure everybody runs into that. Anyway, back to net control, and everybody have a great evening. WA2KL.
WB2KAO. Oh yeah, stuffing tone boards into vintage radios that didn't have PLN code in them. Oh yeah, I remember. Very good, very good, Steve. Thanks for checking in. Good to hear you. And 2AMA, how have you been, Tom?
Real good, Tim. Doing pretty good. Doing a lot of stuff with 3D printing. How have you been? And 2AMA.
Oh, just fine. Just fine. We got the camp open down at Evergreen Trails, north of Angelica, the end of April, and so that came through the winter okay. Got my tail twister rotor and control box back operational on Friday, so I was happy about that. So we also have a new repeater. I had mentioned this. I have a new repeater on 444.85. Mike and Jim were able to install the Motorola MSF 5000 repeater, working very well. We have the best sensitivity and selectivity that we've ever had at the site, so real pleased about that. It's working very well. Good to hear you, Tom. I'm going to see if there are any more check-ins, and if not, I guess we'll wrap it up. Do we have any further check-ins for the RocCityNet? WB2KAO.
WB2KAO, KD2EWE, calling in for numbers. How everybody doing tonight? Got no traffic.
KD2EWE, good evening, Ron. Good to hear you, and health and happiness to you there. Thanks for checking in. Any further check-ins?
Kilo Charlie 2, Zulu X-ray, Rod in Farrington.
KC2ZXX. Good evening. Good evening, Rod. Go ahead.
Yeah, Tim, I was having a little problem with my radio here. I've been trying to program in your all your vital statistics, and I still haven't got it right because I can't seem to hit your repeater. I can receive you, but I can't get that tone right. You're a plus, I believe, but I can't know what the other frequency is or what I have to do. I got one of these Jetstream little tiny radios. It's a pain in the neck to program. Back to you.
Okay, Rod. Well, it's 444.85. Apparently, you're hearing the repeater, so you have that right. 444.850 plus 5 megahertz offset. So you'll be transmitting on 449.85 when you key the radio, and the PL is 110.9. The same PL tone as all the other repeaters in the area use. PL is 110.9. Rod, I don't know what else to tell you. Go ahead.
Well, I'm almost there then. I've got everything in, except I didn't have the 9, and it says the plus 9. So if you're around tonight or some other time when I hear you on, I'll give you a call, or even if you're not there, I'll call and see if you have a identification or something comes up with a Morse code or something like that. I'm assuming you have that. So if I ping your radio. Anyway, I'm just catching on here. Just happened to turn the radio on. I want to say hello to everybody, and I hope to maybe make the next meeting for breakfast. If the ride is willing. Thanks for everything, and back to you, Tim.
Okay, real good, Rod. Just a quick correction. It's a plus 5 megahertz offset, which I think your radio will automatically do that. And when you transmit, you'll see the display go to 449.850. So you're receiving on 444.850, transmitting plus 5 megahertz on 449.850 with a PL of 110.9. 110.9 is the same PL that's required here and on all the other repeaters in the area. So my repeater has a short 1-second squelch tail on it, and it doesn't ID that often. So, but it will ID eventually. You'll hear it. Okay. Any further stations for the net? WB2KAO. Well, I want to thank everybody for checking in. It's most enjoyable. Your net control next week will be Jeff, W2JTF. And this net convenes on Sunday evenings at 19:30 local time, 19:30 local hours, local time. And WB2KAO is returning WR2AHL repeater, and appreciative of its use, we're returning the repeater to general amateur use. Thank you and good night, everybody. Have a good week. It was my pleasure. WB2KAO. Good night.